Hello, and we bring you into action just towards the end of the first quarter of play. Sorry, we are experiencing some technical difficulties with our broadcast, so we are unable to present our scoreboard for you today. I'm Andrew Guyer, and I'm joined by my co-host, Grayson Greer. Grayson, run me through what has happened so far in this game.
And this first quarter has been dominated by Kapaun as they lead 18-10. Last second shot is no good by Central, but definitely a spread out scoring for Kapaun. Lots of breakaway buckets. Andover Central has tried to slow the pace so far in this one. Kapaun just blows by them on every single possession. The leading scorer for the Jaguars, Jaden Brown, held to 0 points, averaging 18.2 points per game, and having 0 in this first quarter. How do you think Kapaun has done a good job to stop that, Andrew?
So KMC has played to their strength. They're a very quick, physical team, using players such as Corey Daniels and Jude Porter, those guys running up and down the court and then getting those outlet passes to Corbin Johnson, setting up the play. Another guy we've seen a lot of, Owen Urlacher. He has been able to show off his moves in the paint, some good spins and some taps off the glass. Urlacher coming in with 4 points in that first quarter of play, and he's a player to watch tonight. Yeah, KMC has just been able to settle down this game. They've been able to hold Andover Central, a very talented team, and they do what they do best, their defense.
Yeah, and as you say, as we head back to begin the second quarter, Andover Central undefeated so far this season, 5-0, their latest win coming over Goddard, 84-41, so a dominant showing in that. But so far, down 8 from the Crusaders as they inbound to start the second quarter.
And DeGarmo taking the ball up the court for the Jaguars, guarded by Stuhlstats. And the screen, but DeGarmo, the ball out, and Johnson taking it the other way. It's the spin off the glass, the putback, good. That one coming from the sophomore Stuhlstats. Number 3, 2010 KMC leading.
So far, Andover Central not been able to stay in front of the Crusaders on defense, trailing behind, as you saw there, as Johnson headed to the bucket.
And Inslee, the pass to DeGarmo at the top of the key. Jaden Brown guarded very tightly by Daniels, and now switching to Johnson for 3. Jefferson, good. The trifecta for Central. His first points of the game. And Stuhlstats, his pass intercepted by Brown. The heave, and DeGarmo, good off the glass. They cut this KMC lead down to just 5.
The timeout called by head coach Steve Eck of the Crusaders. So they don't want to let Andover Central build up a ton of momentum, talk things over, starting to lose their edge on offense, looking to regain that. A couple of breakaway buckets for the Jaguars. Not something you want to see. No foul trouble so far for either team. So we have 7 minutes left here. Kapaun 20, Andover Central 15.
And at one point, Grayson, it was 18-8. That means in the past couple of minutes, since the first quarter and in the second quarter of play, Andover Central's outscored Kapaun 7-2. Not great after KMC's very quick start.
Yes, for sure. Agreed. Central finally trying to find their footing in this game and looking to do so again as we resume play with Daniels holding the ball.
And Daniels surveying the court, trying to find an outlet pass inside. Keller, the pump blocked. And Jaden Brown will set up the quick possession for the Jaguars. Brown, the pump inside. No good, bouncing off the rim. And KMC will set up another offensive possession. The move by Dalian Johnson in the arc, no good. But Dalian will get the rebound, and the miss coming from the sophomore. He'll be sent to the stripe.
And as Dalian heads to the line, that was off the putback from the no-good Johnson 3, trying to answer. Brown is trying to use his quickness on defense, trying to poke the ball loose from behind. So far, the Crusaders have done well to avoid that happening, as Dalian will be good on the first of the pair, putting the Crusaders up by 6, 21-15.
And the key to tonight's success for KMC is to be able to hit those shots from 15 feet away. And that's something they are very successful in, as you saw Dalian hitting his second of the contest, the first free throw opportunity for either team. And they're going to need to be efficient from that line. And DeGarmo double teamed inside. No good on the spin. And Daniels last to touch that one. That'll be Andover Central ball.
It will be Ethan Balky. Jaden Brown to inbound for the Jaguars. It's number 1, Jordan Neal checks in exchange for number 4, Brant Stupka.
And DeGarmo engineering this offense for the Jaguars. Guarded closely by Dalian, and Brown with the ball in his hand. The shot no good on the little teardrop.
And a high
gimme bucket.
And a high floater over the tall defense of the Crusaders, something that Brown has to do with the size disadvantage that he has.
KMC leads by 5, 22-17. Keller to Johnson, and Dalian in the corner. The cut from Dalian, good. A little tap in off the rim.
Now we'll make this score 24-17. Crusaders still lead.
And Brown, he's been quick, but he hasn't beaten Daniels quite yet tonight. And Jefferson, the shot, no good. Rebounded by Keller, and Daniels will take it the other way. And Johnson at the top of the key to Keller. The move, the spin, and his man falls down. The easy bucket from number 4, Rocco Keller, as Brody DeGarmo, the senior, hits the court, unable to guard Keller.
And then the no call on the foul there. It looked to be a little bit light, just a flop there. The foul will be called a reach-in on number 15, Blaze Dalian. In for the Jaguars, it's number 2, Maddox Archibald, and number 20, Mason Meshke. In exchange for number 3, Ethan Balky, and number 1, Jordan Neal. Balky, the second leading scorer so far this season for the Jaguars.
And Jefferson guarded tightly by Johnson. Brown, the move, and they will get a travel call. And the KMC sideline ecstatic for that call. Ecstatic.
And it will be Daniels to bring it down the court for the Crusaders. With 4:18 left to play, Crusaders lead by 9.
And Dalian, the cut to Johnson, poked out by a central defender, but Daniels rebounding it and taking it up. The move and off the glass, 28-17, KMC leading. DeGarmo surveying the court. DeGarmo looking for an open teammate. To Jefferson, to Brown. Brown for 3, no good, his 3rd of the night. He's hit 1 already.
Yeah, and that one was from beyond college range, so shooting a deep one there. It did not fall. I think Andover Central needs to make some smarter shots.
And Daniels guarded tightly into the corner. Dalian for 3, no good. Off the glass, taken down by Urlacher.
And a foul will be called on Jace Jefferson. The reach-in after the rebound by Urlacher. The Crusaders heavily out-rebounding the Jaguars.
And that's something that KMC does best. They keep possessions alive, and they set up those offensive shots. And the quick put-up from Johnson is good. KMC has 30, and Daniels, the cookie and the basket, 32.
Yeah, and I think Central thought he was falling back on defense and just got that, and then the easy layup. Kapaun leads 32-17.
And nearing 3 minutes of play in the first half, KMC found their spot in the driver's seat once again, slowing down this Andover offense.
And that will be A foul on the sophomore Blaisdell, and his second, as he will check out for number 2, Jude Porter.
And once again, DeGarmo will set up his offense. Porter trying to take advantage of the dribbling air. Brown off the screen, the pass to DeGarmo once again. And Porter showing off his tight defense. And Inslee in the corner. 3, no good. Rebounded by Johnson. KMC will take it the other way. Johnson for the trifecta, no good. And Brown set up another offensive possession. Both these teams moving quickly in transition. Multiple rebounds to set up offensive outlet passes.
Now foul will be called on number 2, Jude Porter. That is his second. Team number 3, Jaden Brown, will shoot 2 for the Jaguars. His first attempt is no good. Brown with 4 points so far in this matchup. Crusaders currently lead 32-17 with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left here to play in the second quarter.
And Brown's second from 15 feet away is good.
And Jordan Mangu will check in for the Crusaders in exchange for number 2, Jude Porter. Coach Steve Eck trying to keep those foul totals low for a couple of his players there.
And we've seen a lot of excellent production out of the sophomore Jordan Mangu, number 1 on your screen this season. He's been great off the bench. And in the corner, driving inside, Erlacher off his mark. But he'll be sent to the line, getting an opportunity for 2 points.
And that foul will be called on number 20, Mason Meshke. And he will pick up his first foul.
Erlacher good on his first.
And with that first free throw falling, the Crusaders lead 33-18. 2 minutes sharp left in the quarter, as Erlacher knocks down the second of the pair.
And DeGarmo trying to breathe some life into this offense. Down by double digits. DeGarmo from the line, tipped out, fighting on the floor. That's Erlacher, and Johnson will take it the other way, but that ball poked out, and KMC will retain possession.
And just a messy series of events there. Ball loose everywhere, bodies on the ground. Kapaun comes away with it. Keller from the free throw line is no good.
And Andover, 1:32 left. Brown moving quickly and fouled. And what Brown lacks in his size and his build, he makes up for in his speed. We've seen him all over the court today on defense and on offense. Very physical and quick player.
Yeah, and as we've seen the player comparison, the matchup, number 11, Corey Daniels, picking up his first foul for the Crusaders. Two of the similar builds, short but insanely fast around the court.
The dagger from Brown. What Andover Central needed. And Brown has 8 points in the contest.
Kapaun bring it down the court, leading by 13, 34-21 with 1:20 left here in the second quarter.
Erlacher guarded by DeGarmo. And Keller finding an open teammate in Daniels. Daniels taking advantage of his defender falling. And Keller good from the short range as he tallies up 2 for KMC. Just under a minute left in this first half. Brown making Daniels miss, and Mangu, the rejection on Brown, lighting up the sideline.
They say it's a clean block, a hard hit to the floor there for Brown, but he seems to be all right. Mangu getting his hand in there, using his build to block the lane drive.
And similar to what Mengu did against Southeast earlier in the season, he has some electric blocks that just stop the play and breathe some electricity into his team.
And a foul there put Andover Central into the bonus, so they shoot 2 here with 43 seconds left to play. First of the pair is good for number 12, Chase Jefferson, the senior. A very veteran team for this undefeated Jaguar squad. All seniors in the starting lineup. As he's no good on the second.
And Daniels taking it up for KMC, trying to initiate some scoring. Mengu to Johnson. Johnson, the short shot, no good. Rebounded by Andover Central. And DeGarmo in the corner, Jefferson. The trifecta, no good. And Mengu snared the loose ball with 20.1 left in the second half, our second quarter of play. 36-22, KMC in control.
And the foul was on number 4, Brant Stupka. He was fighting for the rebound.
Daniels trying to run out the clock while also put some points on the board. Johnson for 3, good, hitting the target. And the last second shot by DeGarmo, no good. KMC, as they head in to halftime, 39-22, well in the driver's seat, doing what they do best, and they're controlling basketball in the faces of Andover Central. We'll see you after the break. Hello and welcome back from the halftime break. I'm Andrew Greer and I'm joined by my co-host Grayson Greer. So Grayson, walk me through that first half of play and kind of describe what you're feeling about these two teams.
The first quarter was just Cape and Mount Carmel dominance on either side of the ball. Having a 10-point lead at one point against an undefeated team like this, that's hard to do. But second quarter, things slowed down a little bit, but now at the end, Capen having a couple breakaway buckets, some quick points, leading by 17 as we enter the half. And as we resume play here, Corey Daniels bringing it down the court for the Crusaders.
And this half is brought to you by Ernat Arts and Bronze. Thank you for supporting KMC journalism. And that one out of bounds. The pass intended for Daniels. Johnson off the mark to start the quarter. And DeGarmo to inbound. And DeGarmo taking it up, setting things in motion for the Jaguars.
And Capen has stuck to the man defense all game, trying to stick with their matchups, and they've done a good job of it so far.
DeGarmo for the trifecta, off the mark, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson, the heave down the court. Dalian is fouled.
And the foul will be on number 5, Brody DeGarmo, the senior point guard. That will be his first foul of the game. Team first of the quarter. Sorry, his second personal.
Dalian good from 15 feet away. KMC leading by 18. And Dalian off the mark for the second one. DeGarmo surveying the court, resetting his team. And Brown, guarded by Daniels, double teamed. And Jefferson inside the teardrop, no good.
The foul will be called as he drives towards the hoop. That will be on number 21, Corbin Johnson. That will be Johnson's first foul, team first for the Crusaders. Jefferson shoots his first of the pair. First will fall, nothing but net on that one. Crusaders still holding on to the 17-point lead that they entered the second half with.
And Jefferson nails the second. He is the leading scorer for this Jaguars team in today's contest. Daniels surveying the court for a teammate. Keller into the corner for Johnson, off the mark, but Johnson hits the court hard.
Johnson will shoot three there. Johnson has been able to hit a three-pointer here and there so far in the first half, trying to continue his luck there, but fouled hard as he hit the floor. He will shoot three here.
Johnson off the mark on his first. And, you know, Grayson, we talked about earlier in the game how KMC would need to be successful from the free throw line if they wanted to get those easy points and control this game. They've done that the majority of tonight, but those three straight misses from Johnson are not good, and that's not what you want to see out of a leader.
Yeah, and if you have three chances at free points, definitely want to take advantage of those. But he should forget about that and move on.
Brown, the spin, triple teamed in the paint, and DeGarmo, the pop out for three, instead takes the jumper, no good, and Daniels corrals the ball. Daniels looking for a teammate. Urlacher inside to Keller and out of bounds.
The no good pass will end in the hands of the Jaguars. They'll bring it down the court. And this team looking to continue on their winning streak. Not a single loss for the Jaguars so far this season. Crusaders still well in control of this one.
And inside, Brown, no good for number 0. Daniels sizing up the defense. Moving quickly, puts on the brakes. Johnson into the corner and hitting the court. That's Urlacher. And the foul called.
And the foul will be called on number 4, Brant Stupka. The Andover Central fans not happy with that call, as it looked like Urlacher was out of control. But it will be Crusader basketball.
Daniels to Johnson. Inside, out to an open Dalian. Dalian with the pump fake. Takes it again, no good from mid-range. And Andover Central will take it the other way. At the helm is Brown. Brown, the cut. And in the corner, no good. Corralled by Dalian.
And the Crusaders in the first half out-rebounding the Jaguars. It seemed every time. But the Jaguars finally being able to get some of those defensive boards.
And Brown guarded by Johnson, the size matchup. And stuck inside, no good. Andover Central reels in the rebound and gets the second chance opportunity. That one coming from DeGarmo. And DeGarmo has 4 points in the contest.
And timeout called by the Crusaders.
And KMC trying to slow down the pace of this game. They haven't scored very many in this second half thus far. They're trying to reset, trying to figure out their rhythm and slow down this Jaguars offense. Andover Central came out firing. They're ready to take back that lead.
Yeah, and I think Steve Eck he's did in the first half as well. Anytime that Andover Central started to gain a little bit of footing, some momentum on the court, calls a timeout, just regroups with his team. They settle in, and then they seem to take back the reins of this one. So Crusaders lead by 14. Johnson to inbound from the sideline. So we resume play here in the third quarter. Crusaders lead by 14. So looks like we're dealing with some scoring issues. Seems to be fixed.
And directing traffic will be Daniels. Into Dalian. Dalian taking his time, and the trifecta for Johnson. Good!
Johnson just hitting him with the deep three, as we all know well he can do. And coming off that loss from Northwest, their last game, playing a lot better in this one.
And Brown, no good. KMC has seemed to have the antidote to Brown, and they've stopped him each and every time. Daniels showing off his moves in the paint. Out to Urlacher for three. Good. The dime from the senior Urlacher. And Urlacher has 9 points in the contest.
And 2 big threes there for the Crusaders, putting them up by 20. So a large lead here for the Crusaders.
And Central trying to answer with a three of their own, off the mark, coming from Jefferson. And corralled by Keller, and Daniels will take it up. Inside. Dalian, the move against some tight defense. And Johnson pushed in the corner.
The foul will be called on number 12, Jace Jefferson of the Jaguars. And he will check out for number 11, Carter Inslee, the junior.
And if Johnson was not pushed, he was ready to swerve in that corner.
So Crusaders lead by 20 here. They're looking to play smart basketball, increase on their points. The Jaguars need to find something on defense.
And off Johnson's hand, DeGarmo, and Daniels doing exactly what a leader needs to do, getting down there on the hustle and getting the stop. And Johnson tallies up 2.
And DeGarmo just not hearing the wolf calls from his teammates. leading to the Johnson easy floater for the bucket.
KMC has found their rhythm. It looks like that timeout call was exactly what they needed. Coming out of talking things over, scoring 8 and forcing Central to reset and figure out the problem.
Yeah, definitely a recurring theme from the first half. They build up some momentum. Kapaun calls a quick 30-second, maybe full timeout, and they just cannot get anything once they come out of those timeouts. Crusaders just take the reins and are just destroying Central on both sides of the ball right now. Andover Central has elected to keep running their zone defense, but it still has not been able to work. The Crusaders have been able to find passing lanes, driving lanes, and cut through the defense.
And so many times a KMC player darts open and they're able to swerve through that Andover zone defense, and it's just not enough. It's not able to contain this electric offense that KMC is showing. Brown, double teamed, out to 3, and Inslee back to Brown, trying to reset and engineer his offense. And Brown, the mismatch guarded by Keller. Brown for 3, good, deep range, showing off his shooting ability.
And that one was from the parking lot. It felt like a deep 3, having to force the shot because of the shot clock. And Dalian, no good on the answer.
KMC trying to come back with a 3 of their own, and just off the iron from the sophomore Dalian would have been what KMC needed.
And Jude Porter checks in for Rocco Keller. So Owen Herlocker picked up his first personal foul, going for the rebound.
And Brown sizing up the defense inside the last second pass. Good.
And that is from the junior Carter Cyphers. His first really appearance in this one, hasn't been in too much.
Daniels doing exactly what Brown did, and that one a kiss from the glass to help. Brown at the helm once again. The screen, double teamed. Out to Inslee and to Balky, and in the corner. Inslee for 3. And inside, and the Jaguars trying to reset. Whistle called.
Blocking foul will be called on number 12, Owen Herlocker, his second personal, team third. And Brown pops the corner 3 from the inbound. No good, recovered by Dalian, but it loses it. It will be Andover Central basketball.
And Dalian nearly reeled in the rebound, something he's been doing all night. Unsuccessful there.
The Crusaders 19-point lead as Johnson goes into the Central bench.
Johnson nearly getting the cookie on the inbound. Set things in motion is Brown to Inslee. Inslee at the top of the key, guarded closely by Johnson. Inslee on the screen, looking for Brown. Brown showing off his dribbling, pounding the leather, and good. Tallying up 2.
Now will be his 13th points of the game as he's trying to find his path in this one. So foul will be called on number 34, Jack Ralston.
And Dalian will shoot 2 from 15 feet away.
That's a hard finish to try to get against the 6'6 junior. I think on offense for the Jaguars, Jaden Brown's getting frustrated with how far out of hand this game is getting, trying to force some shots. It has seemed to work for him. He's forcing some fadeaways, some deep threes that you may not see work for most guys, but for him they're falling.
Dalian nails his second. Brown trying to get things in motion for the Jaguars. Into the corner. 3, no good. Balky, blocked, rejected. And the Jaguars will retain possession.
And Stulsatz using his frame to get his hands in front of that 3. As Jaden Brown not happy with the direction the ball's going in. As the ball went out of bounds, it couldn't exactly see if it's poked away. He's thinking it was. It will be Crusader basketball with Porter bringing it down the court.
Stulsatz on the arch. Mengu finding the cut of Porter. Porter good for 2.
And a substitution for the Jaguars. Number 5, Brody DeGarmo checking in for number 3, Ethan Balky.
And nearing 30 seconds left in the third quarter of play. KMC finding themselves in the driver's seat. The spin, Inslee double teamed in the paint to DeGarmo. DeGarmo guarded by Stulsatz. And they'll reset as Brown sizes up the defense. Porter to switch on Brown. Past half court. And KMC will get the ball.
And I think frustration is building for this Jaguars team. Crusaders to inbound with 6.1, trying to get a quick bucket off here before the end of the third quarter.
And in the hands of Johnson, no one better for 3, no good. Off the iron. And now racing KMC performing to their best ability today, leading by 20 against an undefeated team. And the question is, coming off of this game, how will Andover Central react? If this continues in the direction it's going, how will they react to a loss? How will they face adversity? I mean, KMC facing adversity in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I think we see Kapaun, they faced adversity, losing their last one by 4 to Northwest, falling 41-45. And as we see, they've come back with a lot more poise. They've played with energy today, and that's why you have that 20-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. And now if you're Andover Central, you're a team that's undefeated. You don't know what it's like to lose yet this year. That's something that's hard to swallow, is being down by 20 heading into the fourth quarter. It almost seems like the win is unobtainable if you're on that bench. But I think even if this heads in the direction that we've seen all game, you have a lot to build off of. You're playing the defending 5A state champions. You're playing a team who is known to be solid. You still have a chance. One loss doesn't change much for you. You're still going to get a high seed in the playoffs. You still got to go fight your league opponents. And this is a Kapaun team who last year was undefeated against non-conference opponents. So if you're Andover Central, you have a lot to build on after this one.
And DeGarmo taking the ball up the court. And Stupka inside. Pass intended for DeGarmo. Off his hands and out of bounds. And surveying the floor from the sideline, Stulsatz to inbound. Porter at the helm for this team. Inside Johnson, the finish, the teardrop is good. Once again, DeGarmo setting up this offense, giving Jaden Brown a rest. Inslee with the pump fake from the arch, no good. Corralled by Stulsatz and taken the other way by Johnson. The outlet pass, good. Keller for 2.
And something this Kapaun team has much improved on so far throughout the season as we advance is just the passing game. They get into situations, and instead of having that one guy try to make a couple extra moves like Johnson there, instead he just makes the quick pass to Rick Keller for the easy layup, increasing this Kapaun lead to 24. And Central has 2 timeouts remaining with the Kapaun 3. I think if you're Andover Central, you just continue to play this one out. 7 minutes left. Crusaders not slowing down. I mean, they're in high gear here and not looking to put it into low. I think Coach Stevak has some frustration. 2 losses that I think this team shouldn't have this year. I think that this is a team who should have that undefeated 6-0 record, but instead they sit at 4-2 with losses to Bishop Carroll, their crosstown rivals in Northwest. But I think they need to turn it around as we resume in this 4th quarter, brought to you by, or not, Art and Bronze. Thank you for the sponsorship as the Jaguars will inbound.
And DeGarmo initiating this offense. Guarded by Johnson. Inslee driving inside to Brown. Brown playing physical. Good. And the floater will also come with an and one opportunity from the charity stripe.
Coach Stevek not happy with the foul, wanting the push off on Brown and also saying that it was a clean block, but either way, Jaden Brown shoots. It will fall for the and one.
And Andover Central initiating the press. Porter wide open, unguarded, and Mangu inside, double teamed. Corralled by Stubka.
Mangu no good on his attempt there. And Corey Daniels will check in exchange for Mangu as he will take a seat. Number 20, Mason Meshke in for the Jaguars again. Coming in the starting lineup, but not much action since. It's Brown, no good on 3.
Johnson taking the other way. Engineering this offense, almost intercepted from Stubka, getting it in the way of Stuhlstadt's driving.
And Jaden Brown takes a seat, I think for the first time this game. A guy that does not really know what the bench feels like. Leading scorer by far with 16 on the night. On the day.
In the corner, Stubka, good. The dime breathing some life into Central. Daniels pounding the leather to Keller. And Stuhlstadts to Porter. KMC bringing it around the horn as Johnson off the rim and in. Johnson's 3rd dime of the contest.
And Johnson, that was a little bit slow to fall, but it eventually did. Johnson has 21 points on the night, the leading scorer for Kapaun, leading scorer between both teams. As 60-39 is a pretty grim way to be in this 4th quarter if you are the Jaguars of Andover Central. As we saw at the end of that possession, kind of into the middle of this 4th quarter, we saw Jaden Brown take a seat, a guy who doesn't, visibly frustrated, arguing with his coaches on the bench. And just a tough loss like this, you've got to find a way to keep your head in it. Can't get frustrated at the guys who are trying to help you on the sideline. But hopefully he brings his head around. We'll see if he makes an appearance again in this game with 6 minutes left.
And that matchup with these two teams, Johnson and Brown, two very electric players. It's been a fun game to watch, Grayson. These two teams playing at very high levels. It is a contest that we all needed on a snowy Saturday.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. A good showing of basketball here for the Crusaders, an incredible way to bounce back after receiving a loss in their last contest. A team that's looking to make another run deep in the playoffs.
Inslee sizing up the defense, nearly taken by KMC, but DeGarmo moving quickly, hitting the court as he looks a bit shaken up.
And the foul will be called on Corey Daniels, and he will check out in exchange for Blaze Dalian. Number 11, Carter Inslee to inbound for the Jaguars.
Inslee only 2 on the day.
And Jaden Brown, key returner, checking back into the game for the Jaguars.
And on the arch is Inslee. Inside. Stubka, good on the gimme bucket.
Looks like a clock issue. And so the Crusaders will inbound from the sideline. Number 2, Jude Porter to inbound. Seems to be an issue with the clock as the horn kind of went crazy there for a second. And the defending state champions looking to resume play here.
Porter to Daniels. Back to Porter. At the top of the key is Johnson. No good from 3 land. And DeGarmo, the big pass, and eventually in the corner to Inslee. Inslee maneuvering this defense, gets it off to Brown. Some excellent passing from the Jaguars. And poked away, but corralled by DeGarmo. Guarded by Keller. In the corner. Stubka over Johnson, no good, corralled by Dalian. Daniels will engineer this offense.
Yeah, it's travel. And Keller will take the stutter step in the corner, setting up for his 3-pointer. He will be called for the travel. This ball will head Andover Central way as number 12, Jace Jefferson, checks back in exchange for Carter Inslee, and number 1, Jordan Mangu, in exchange for number 4, Rocco Keller for the Crusaders.
And Porter initiating the press early, forcing Brown to play his best. And even with this lead, KMC playing very physical. Brown, the teardrop, and the and one opportunity.
And definitely one of Brown's most lethal shots today for the Crusaders have been those just high floaters from the lane. There's not much you can do as a defensive player. You just got to put your body and your hands all the way as they can extend, but him able to float over you, it's just hard to defend.
And standing 5'8", 140 pounds, Brown showing off his ability to just be a skilled basketball player and playing with ability over size. Daniels racing down the court. Whistle called.
And a foul will be called on number 5, Brody DeGarmo. His personal third, team first of the fourth quarter.
Johnson sizing up the defense. Dealing at the top of the key into Mangu. And the cut from Johnson, no good on the bucket. And the second chance opportunity is good. Johnson has 23 points. The 3 from Brown as he hit the court. Whistle eventually called. Nothing from Brown's shot. Game C will get possession. Daniels moving quickly, gets it to Johnson. Johnson inside to Daniels, double teamed, makes a man fall. And Mengu, the spin off the glass. Johnson eventually coming away with it, and possession was kept alive. The ball hit out by a Jaguar.
And it just seemed like the ball was everywhere, just bodies everywhere. Just kind of a mix of events going on. Johnson. Bang.
Squaring up for the shot. And dead center from the senior. He is 25.
And a high-scoring game for Johnson. Nothing out of the ordinary. He's been a key player for the Kapaun Crusaders from the sophomore year. And with
Stupka's pass out of bounds.
Yeah, it just looks like it slipped off his fingertips. It will be a timeout here. And it will be a full timeout. Crusaders lead by 20. Just nothing really going different for the Jaguars. Able to stay within that 20-point range, but really not able to break that barrier of the 20 points. And what do you think they need to look forward to going into their next matchup? And just like, do you think they need to forget about this loss, build on the things that they struggled with? What do you think, Andrew?
So one key thing that KMC has been doing very well tonight is getting those second chance opportunities and rebounding the ball. Offensively and defensively, Andover Central needs to keep possessions alive. They need to set up those offensive rebounds, those offensive boards. And they've done an excellent job of passing, but I think too often they've kept it in the hands of Jaden Brown and forced them to take that shot. We've seen that a couple times, chucking up a deep one, and it doesn't always go in. So that's something that they need to evaluate. Brown is an excellent player, but if the game's not going his way and he starts getting some bad shots up, it could be bad.
Yeah, when your team is based off just one guy scoring, I mean, nobody else really scoring. Jace Jefferson with 9. He's been great from the three-point range if he can get open. But if you have just one guy that you can rely on, this is what's going to happen.
And the toss-up to Urlacher for the alley-oop. Unsuccessful. Looked like a fun play, though.
Yeah. Luckily, he landed safely. I thought he was going to tip over and do a flip over the back of the defender.
Daniels initiating the play. Gets it to Dalian. Dalian looked for the pass, but took the shot. No good. Grabbed his own rebound. KMC still fighting for it. The ball bouncing like a pinball. Jefferson, the big pass down the court. DeGarmo trying to reset this offense. Guarded closely by Mengu. Whistle called.
It was an off-ball foul. Will be on Owen Herlocker, number 12. That'll be his third, team fifth. And so with that, the Andover Central Jaguars enter the bonus and will shoot 2 here from Brant Stupka.
Stupka nails his first from 15 feet away. Second is no good off the iron. Daniels to Dalian. Sophomore setting up the offense. Inside. And Dalian looked to be fouled. And Central's second team foul of the fourth. Dalian's first is good.
And a few substitutions for the Crusaders. Kyle Kea and Charlie Barrier, the seniors, making their first appearances of this one.
And one good trait about this KMC team, they have a very deep bench. They have a lot of players that they can pull from. This is the first time we're seeing Charlie Barrier and Kyle Kea, both excellent seniors, guys that can hustle, they can play very well, and this KMC team hasn't even needed to use them until now.
Yeah, so, I mean, when they have some tougher matchups, it's great that they have the ability to pull these guys when they have a few of them get tired. You just have endless guys who can score, who can just do whatever they need. Maybe it won't appear on the stat sheet, but they are hustlers and they get stuff done.
And Inslee's pass. Whistle called. Balky. It looked like he was caught walking.
No, I think he stepped on the baseline, sorry, on the sideline there. Ref caught it and made the call.
Johnson inside intended for Kea, excuse me. And inside DeGarmo, good off the glass. Johnson on the hustle.
And Johnson gives it to Mengu, taking down the court. Kea to Johnson. Johnson pulls up for the deep two. No good. Mengu in on the board. Kyle Kea goes up and he scores. Kyle Kea with his first points of the game. Bench loving it. The substitution as Jude Porter will check in for Dalian. And number 1, Jordan Neal will check in for the Jaguars, along with number 2, Maddox Archibald.
DeGarmo to check in. And Brown take the ball up for the Jaguars. Inside, Brown off the glass, rebounded by Andover Central, exactly what they needed to do. Shot blocked, rejected by Mengu.
And I just saw head coach Tyler Richardson just smile on the sideline, kind of just that defeated smile. I mean, they can't get anything right now. Their star player guarded by the sophomore and just can't even get a shot off. It's just, the morale is low if you're a Jaguar. And
it was one of those shots that you just take if you're defeated. It was a big size matchup, and Mengu did what he needed to do. Speaking about Mengu taking it up for the Crusaders, puts on the brakes, and barrier into Kea. Barrier for the trifecta, no good off the iron. Second chance opportunity, no good as well.
Barrier with the good shot attempt, just no good. The Stulsatz gets the rebound for the Crusaders. So it looks like they'll just dribble this one out. So that will be the win for the Crusaders. A dominant showing, 20-point victory, 67-47. Cape and Mount Carmel takes the win, improving to 5-2. I'm Grayson Greer.
And I'm Andrew Guyer. And we will see you later. Hello and welcome to today's broadcast between the 5-1 Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders and the 3-2 Andover Central Jaguars. I'm Andrew Guyer, and I'm joined by my co-host
Grayson Greer.
Now, Grayson, coming into tonight's matchup, KMC on a roll. Can you kind of describe what this team is feeling, how they've played in the past couple games?
Yeah, this is the Cape and team's best starting record that we've seen in years. Starting with a 5-1 record, their only loss to the Golden Eagles of Bishop Carroll, the crosstown rivals, losing that one by a close margin, falling 50-58. Their wins come over Wichita Southeast, Southeast, West, and Northwest. And last season, this Cape Mount Carmel team was 2-2 versus non-GWAL opponents. And they will face this Andover Central Jaguars squad sitting at a record of 3-2, with their two losses coming to Maize South and Ark City. That Ark City loss coming by 1 point, 43-44, so a close loss over there. And then their latest game was a loss to the Goddard Lions, 28-34. That is definitely maybe some fuel for them coming into this game, trying to get their get back and get another win in the win column as we send this game to tip off soon. Brought to you by Not Art and Bronze, but a very talented Cape and roster led by the talents of the sophomore Zoe Buckner, currently averaging 25 points per game for the Crusaders, definitely leading them in all sorts of categories. But other key players for this team include the likes of Ella Rudy, the senior who makes her presence known in the paint. You have many leading scorers from this team.
So, Grayson, the story today is Andover Central going to be able to stop Zoe Buckner? That is the key to KMC's success, and they will win with her.
Agreed, Andrew, and I think, if you can take a player like her out of the game, it's kind of what Bishop Carroll was able to do when they took down the Crusaders. I mean, that can change the game in a whole different way and have to attack your other players, use them in ways maybe they're not used to. So we will see what the Jaguars are able to do against this Crusaders squad as we tip off here.
And KMC will start with the ball. Driving down the court is Zoe Buckner, number 51 on your screen, the key player tonight. And then inside, Ella Rudy, number 42, off the glass, getting the first points for tonight. Number 13 on the wing, Maddie Spears. Number 22 is Ellie Knipp. Number 23, Phoebe Loffer. And number 24, McCoy Pfister.
And the starting lineup for the Andover Central Jaguars: number 5, Reese Wilburn; number 11, Taylon Tabor; number 14, Emma Cooper; number 15, Peyton Converse; and number 22, Carolyn Wilson.
And Buckner gets her first points of the night. A little kiss off the glass on the layup. And the Jaguars are racing down the court, trying to get another bucket. 4-3, KMC leads. And trapped in trouble, KMC showing strong defense early. The late shot by Tabor, the senior, no good.
And that shot was nowhere close, lots of contact. It sails into Narnia as Buckner will bring it down the court for the Crusaders.
Rudy at the top of the key, passing it off to Loffer inside. And Buckner's second chance opportunity, good. And Buckner already with 4. Poked away out of bounds, but the Jaguars will maintain possession.
Pfister hustling to poke that one out of bounds.
Tabor passing it off to Wilson. Wilson surveying the court for a teammate. Tabor for 3. Good for the trifecta. And the Jaguars' only points coming from beyond the arc. Buckner hitting the court, losing the ball as the Jaguars will take advantage and take it the other way. Inside, poked out by Maddie Spears.
It will stay possession for the Jaguars of Andover Central. Buckner Franklin lost control on the Crusader end of the court. This one's all tied up so far as the Jaguars will inbound.
Tabor to set things in motion. And the pump from Wilburn, getting it to a teammate. And Cooper unable to connect, poked out by KMC as they're able to show strong defense. Maddie Spears, the Fort Hays State commit, at the helm for KMC. Buckner along the wing. Inside. Good. Off the glass.
Buckner finishing through contact as she does often.
And the Jaguars unable to get inside the paint. They're finding their only points from the three-point arc. Loffer corralling the ball and taking the other way. Pfister to Buckner. Buckner squares up for three. Good. And Buckner has 9.
And the deep three there from Buckner, well within her range.
Tabor guarded by Buckner. Inside to Cooper. Off the backboard as she is fouled. That one coming from the senior Ella Rudy. The first foul of the night. And Peyton Converse will have an opportunity from 15 feet away, nailing her first.
And Buckner, the leading three-point scorer for the Crusaders. As we saw there.
Converse second is good. And Ellie Knipp checking in for the Crusaders. Engineering this offense. Getting it to Pfister as she is caught walking. And that will be Central ball.
And McCoy, Pfister just shuffling her feet a little too much there on the dribble as Tabor will bring it down the court for the Jaguars.
Tabor poked out by Pfister, hustling to get the ball, and eventually corralled by Central. That one out of bounds. And that was Barszewski.
And Pfister poking away the ball, hustling on defense as the inbound. Look for Tabor, defended by Knipp.
And Tabor guarded by Knipp. Inside, Converse trying to make a move on Loffer. Well off the mark and corralled by Pfister.
And Pfister foot was out of bounds when she was trying to corral that ball. So it will be Andover Central basketball. Kapaun leads by 3.
To inbound, Tabor, the senior. And the officials talking things over.
I'm not sure what the discussion was about, but we will resume play here. The argument about what went on. Head coach Stana Jefferson with the argument.
And nearly wide left, but good from Converse as she gets some points on the board. Down by 1 are the Jaguars. Buckner engineering this offense, getting it to Pfister. Whistle called again.
That one was called on number 15, Peyton Converse. Her first.
And sizing up the defense is Pfister. Spears. Surveying the court. Knipp driving inside. The pass to Loffer. No good from close range. Off the back iron.
Loffer, a key senior for the Crusader basketball team. Just unable to get the basket to fall there.
Tabor out to the wing to Bolden. Bolden, the shot off the rim. Corralled by the Jags.
And Knipp will make the effort on defense. Smacks it right back out of bounds. And the substitution for the Crusaders will be number 3, Avery Hamilton, in exchange for Maddie Spears.
Poked away by Knipp, hustling down the court, and no good on the tap in.
And Knipp was no good on the easy layup. Be a jump ball, and it will head with the Jaguars.
Tabor, the senior, taking it up for the Jaguars. Poked out by Buckner, hustling down the court. A 2-on-1 inside. No good off the glass, grabbing her own rebound. And good, laying it in was Buckner.
A close game so far. Back and forth between the Crusaders and Jaguars.
And getting around the horn. Andover Central, some good passing from them. Poked out by Pfister and batted, but still in the hands of Central. For threes, Bolden. Good, the dime. As this game is knotted up at 13. Buckner making a move inside the floater. She was guarded by 4 defenders. Unfortunately, that one did not go. Taking the other way, Converse out to Bolden. On the perimeter, intercepted. Cookies for Knipp inside the easy lay-in off the glass. Good.
And those will be Knipp's first points of the game. Another key contributor on defense and on offense for the Crusaders.
And foul coming from Loffer.
And that will come from Loffer, but that is the second team foul of the quarter for the Crusaders. So far, only one team foul for Andover Central.
And Cooper to throw in for the Jags. Handling it is Wilburn. Getting it to Tyner. And Rudy fighting for that one in the air. Whistle called.
And a substitution for the Crusaders checking in is number 15, Gracie Bezdek, in exchange for number 42, Ella Rudy.
And Converse to Tyner. Poked out by Pfister down the court. Good. And using the square to finish the basket.
And Kapaun able to get a couple of those pokeaways, get easy layups off of them. You have to prevent those if you're Andover Central.
And Tabor weaving around this defense. Whistle called. And the KMC bench erupts.
It'll be an offensive foul on number 11, Taylor Tabor. It's her first. Looked like maybe she threw an elbow around.
Pfister at the helm for KMC. Off to Knipp. And around the horn, Back to Pfister, inside, poked out by Converse, and taken by Andover Central. Tabor looking for a teammate. Tyner inside, too high.
And way too much on that layup attempt, so no good. Some of these Andover Central starters have not had the chance to sit at all in this first quarter. Maybe showing some fatigue.
Hamilton on the wing. Back to Buckner. And Knipp dishing it to Hamilton. KMC. Some excellent passing from them, trying to set up an opportunity. Buckner behind the back in the corner to Spears off the iron. And rebounded by Central, taking another way. Hamilton found an error in the Central dribbling, and KMC will inbound.
And head coach Stana Jefferson of the Jaguars not happy with the physicality not being called. As the three-point attempt is off the top of the backboard.
Inside Tabor, good. And as this one hits double zeros for the first quarter, 17-15 KMC leads.
Yeah, and Kapaun not able to get really in a groove here. Scoring points here and there, getting a couple of those breakaway layups. And if you're Andover Central, you're down 2 in this quarter. You're feeling great. You're well within this game. And those are mistakes. If the Crusaders didn't have 4 easy points off those layups, you're leading by 2. And so those are those game-changing moments that you can't let happen. You got to clean up your offense. Lots of pokeaways for the Crusader defense. Obviously, Coach Jefferson of the Jaguars not happy with it so far. Harping on the refs to stop letting the Crusader defense hound on them as they come down the court. Still nothing from the refs.
And both these teams playing some excellent defense, being able to poke balls away and force turnovers. And it doesn't feel like one team's in the driver's seat, Grayson. It's more of a back and forth type of competition.
100.
And we'll see who can edge it out at the end.
100% it has been blow after blow, just punches back and forth. The Crusaders will start with the basketball with the second quarter presented by Art and Bronze. And another clock issue, it appears.
Spears to inbound. Buckner leading this offense. Spears on the wing, getting it to Bezdek, and wide of Hamilton. And that will be Jaguars' ball. Cooper to inbound for Central. Taking it up is Tabor. Finding Wilburn and Converse at the top of the key. 3 from Tabor. Off the mark, off the back of the rim. Hamilton to Buckner. Buckner making a move. The jumper. No good. Corralled by Andover Central. Tabor finding a teammate in the corner. No good. Once again, Central is not on the same page of shooting that they were in the first quarter play, with some of their first baskets coming from the perimeter. Now they can't seem to knock one down.
And Pfister checks in for the Crusaders. Offensive score for this team, maybe trying to get some more points they haven't been able to find. No good on the three-point attempt.
And the Jaguars will maintain possession. Tabor now into Converse. And inside, back out to Wilburn for 3 off the back. And whistle called.
And that foul will be on number 14, Emma Cooper. She's reaching in on the rebound attempt as Buckner will bring it down the court for the Crusaders.
Buckner getting it to an open teammate. That's Bezdek. Bezdek off the heel of the rim. And Wilburn no good inside.
And Pfister will be called on the foul, so it will be 2 shots for Reese Wilborn. And a chance to tie it here with the 2 free throws.
And Wilburn good from 15 feet away. And Wilburn has 2 points.
And that will tie the game up here.
Pfister, 2 Spears, 2 Keller. Keller having some trouble with it. Into the corner to Spears. Cutting inside. Off the rim, a bounce. And Andover Central will take it the other way. This one still knotted at 17. 3 from Tabor. Good, the dime.
And that will put the Jaguars up their first lead of this matchup.
And they worked hard to claw back as KMC not letting up defensively. Buckner finding an open teammate. No good from Keller. Inside those Spears as she reeled in that rebound and got the second chance opportunity. Wilburn at the top of the key, making a move on Spears. Her pass corralled eventually inside to Converse. Good.
And that one will be put up by the sophomore Converse. She has 6 on afternoon.
And almost intercepted inside. Good from the senior Phoebe Loffer. And that's Loffer's first points of the contest. 3 from Wilburn. She's hit one already. No good. And that will be KMC ball.
And checking in for the Crusaders will be number 22, Ellie Knipp, in exchange for number 5, Lucy Keller. She will take a seat after a few minutes on the floor.
Pfister to Knipp at the top of the key. Getting it to Buckner. Buckner inside. The jumper. No good. Loffer set it up again for 3. Off the mark once again. Bouncing out of the rim. But Loffer continuing to keep these possessions alive for KMC. That one, unfortunately, not going. But excellent rebounding from the senior. Poked out by Knipp. Central still having possession. 3, no good. And Buckner will corral it and take it the other way. Buckner hitting the brakes. Trying to reset. Makes a defender fall. And squares up to hit the jumper.
Yeah, and just getting put on the court by the crossover. Just good move from Buckner and able to finish regaining this lead for the Crusaders.
And
a foul will be called on number 22, Ellie Knipp. Will be her first, team second of the quarter.
Cooper to inbound to Tabor. Tabor finding Tyner and then to Bolden in the corner. Blocked by Spears, but Central maintaining possession and eventually out of bounds again.
Crusaders trying to cover the Central players who aren't moving too quickly in this 2-3 zone. So far, keeping them in check.
And Tyner getting it inside. Central getting around the horn. 3 from Bolden is good. And Central adds to their lead. Inside Buckner. No good on the quick jumper. Unusual for Buckner to miss, but we're seeing what this defense does. 3 off the mark, rebounded by Spears.
And that foul will be called on Emma Cooper. That'll be her second, team second.
Spears has set things in motion. Buckner at the controls for this offense. Making a move, getting it to Spears and to Hamilton in the corner. Off the mark, the back of the rim. And saving the ball was Loffer, and KMC will reset. Knipp at the top of the key. Off her foot, and Central corralling it and taking the other way. Tabor and Converse inside. Wilburn for 3. Off the mark again. Buckner chasing down the board. And these two teams will talk things over.
A timeout called by head coach Will Ingles of the Crusaders. The Crusaders trail 2. Just talk things over, a 30-second timeout. Try to talk things over, see how they can get their offense moving a little bit better, get Buckner some looks, or Pfister, try to let them get better looks at shots, but so far not able to.
And Andover Central trying to find their success from the three-point arc. 11 of their 12 shots have been from 3 in the second quarter of play. And some of those have fallen, and that really shows their ability to pull up from beyond the arc. And Knipp moving it to Pfister. Pfister, the air ball, and that will be Central ball.
And Tabor will bring it down the court for Jaguars, defended by Knipp.
Tabor finding Tyner and getting it to Converse. Tabor for 3. Good! And they add to that total of 3s. 28-23, Andover Central leads.
Kapaun needs to continue to play their game and not try to force anything now that they trail a little bit.
And Hamilton off the mark from the close shot.
Will be off the leg of Jaguars, as Loffer and Buckner will check in exchange for Hamilton and Bezdek. Crusaders will inbound Pfister under the basket.
And Pfister, the deep heave to Knipp at the top of the key. Buckner guarded tightly inside, makes a move, good. And
off
that one down the chute.
And off the left hand of Buckner, she can go both ways. If you're Andover Central, you have to stay in front of her.
Inside and out to Wilburn. And Tabor from mid-range, no good. And Kapaun will take it the other way, rebounded by Knipp. And Spears inside.
And the wide open lane, but no good on the layup for Spears as she will take a seat in exchange for Bezdek, quickly checking back in for the Crusaders. And the discussion will take place.
Sizing up the defense is Knip. And it batted out of bounds by Converse. And KMC will get another shot.
And Converse, the sophomore, not getting much time on the bench, making her presence known in this one so far, especially on defense. An offensive foul will be called. It'll be on number 15, Gracie Bezdek of the Crusaders. Some contact on an inbound play. We'll head in the direction of the Jaguars.
And Tabor at the helm for Central. Finding Converse inside, off the square and in. Buckner with 5 seconds left, trying to get up a last-second shot, making a move from deep. Good!
And the basket will count. And the Crusaders will head into halftime down by 2, 28-30. And we will resume for the second half.
Hello and welcome back from the break as KMC trails Andover Central by 2, 30-28 as we head into the third quarter of play. I'm Andrew Guyer.
And I'm Grayson Greer.
And KMC trying to claw back against the Jaguars in today's matchup. And Central will start with the ball. Cooper to inbound to Wilburn. Guarded by Pfister. Getting it to Tabor for three off the iron. Rebounded by Rudy. And Buckner will take it the other way.
And it's like we mentioned in the second quarter, lots of threes thrown up from Andover Central, not going for the two ball very often.
And off the mark from Central and taking the other way is Spears. And inside, Rudy. Off the mark, second chance opportunity, good, with a little help from the glass.
Getting her own rebound, looking like Angel Reese out there. The Jaguars will start their possession.
And from three, Wilburn, good. And Central, majority of their points coming from beyond the arc. 6 for 14 in the first half from the perimeter. And Spears rejected by Converse in the paint. And Tabor, the pass to the perimeter. And off the iron, rebounded by Buckner as she takes it the other way. Inside, the quick pass to Rudy, and Rudy has 4 quick points in this third quarter.
And that's something that's going to help the Crusaders' offense, is making that extra pass to the more open person under the basket instead of trying to drive it yourself.
And another three from Central, rebounded by Converse, keeping the possession alive. Wilburn, guarded by Pfister on the perimeter, inside to Converse, guarded by Rudy. And Rudy, the stuff to send the ball out of bounds.
It will be Andover Central basketball. It's Tabor to inbound for the Jaguars into Converse.
And Converse, nowhere to go as that one is sent out. And Tabor surveys the floor from the sideline.
And Andover Central head coach Stana Jefferson wanting him to move.
And the ball sent our way at the scores table as Grayson was about to grab the ball there. Took off his headset.
All right, we're back.
And we're back.
And it will be number 14, Emma Cooper, to inbound for the Jaguars.
Wilburn getting it to Tabor. Tabor been a key player for Central today, having majority of their points. Getting it to Converse in the paint and out to Wilburn. Good passing, but time expires from the ticker.
And the shot clock violation forced by the hard KMC defense. Tabor yelling at her teammates, move, move, seeming to be tired just standing around on offense and nowhere to go with basketball.
Knipp inside, good, off the glass.
And the and one for Knipp, finishing through the contact. She will shoot the Crusaders' first free throw of the game. So their first time at the line in this matchup. A big substitution for the Jaguars.
Knipp off the mark for her first free throw attempt. And Tabor, pass to Tyner, inside to Converse, guarded by Emily Jacobs. And Converse will get a chance at the line.
Converse to shoot two. Knipp no good on her and one attempt. One of the best free throw shooters on this team with a 60% free throw percentage, so actually not good. But this Crusader team has struggled all year from the line, as they did last year.
Converse nails her second. And this game is tied at 34 apiece. At control is Buckner, sending it inside. And a little help from the rim sends that one through the chute.
Jaguars trying to increase the pace, pushing it quick, and Laufer pokes it out of bounds, but it will stay Andover Central ball. Pushing the pace did not help them out there.
Tabor guarded by Pfister. And the screen. Pfister still able to reject that shot. And inside, some help from the fiberglass, Buckner. And she is 22.
And the crucial defensive play by Pfister to set that up. So the pick and roll was open. Blocking the pass turned that into a scoring opportunity.
And Tabor hits the court with Pfister as a whistle is called.
Pfister trying to get in there for the loose ball, but will be called for the reach.
The throw in. Converse collecting the ball. And another whistle called as Central will maintain possession and get the throw in.
That is the second personal for Knipp as she checks out in exchange for Spears. Team fourth of the quarter. Crusaders are in the bonus. Crusaders are not in the bonus, but two more will put Central into it.
And a little confusion there. Converse looking in the wrong direction. Spears inside, dribbling it and taking it outside of the perimeter. Buckner now with possession. Buckner guarded by Converse. The trifecta off the mark. And Laufer will fight for that one.
A foul will be called on number 24, Julian Bolden. And Rudy and Hamilton will check in exchange for Pfister and Laufer of the Crusaders. Buckner to inbound.
And dishing it to Spears. Buckner. Beyond the arc, inside. Makes a move. And squares up to shoot, good. The turnaround jumper is successful as Zoe Buckner has 24.
That turnaround fadeaway jumper increasing this lead to 6. One of the largest leads we've seen all game. This has been back and forth throughout 3 quarters so far. And in this full timeout, Andrew, if you're Andover Central, now you're down by 6, you haven't really trailed by this much. What are you looking to do?
So, to get back into this game, Central, they're going to need to get as many offensive boards as possible. They've been shooting it a lot from the perimeter. They're going to need to either reel those back in or gather their rebounds from those shots. Now, they're playing to their advantage as they can shoot very well, but when they're not able to rebound and keep those possessions going, that's the problem.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lots of three-point shots, maybe trying to find some smarter shots would be helpful for them. Like we saw, teammates, coaches yelling, move. This offense seems tired as they came out of the locker room, but finally seeming to start to move. But lots of players not getting much rest. We haven't seen Tabor or Converse really sit on the bench much at all, so that could play into it.
Bolden guarded by Hamilton. Out to Tabor. And rejected by Spears, taking the other way. Inside to Rudy. Rudy off the fiberglass and in. And racing down to get the shot. That one coming from Wilburn, or excuse me, Tabor. Andover Central quickly responded.
And Tabor, big shot to slow down the momentum of the Crusaders. And that was needed.
Buckner driving the turnaround, getting into Hamilton. And Spears in the corner. The floater rejected, and Central will take it the other way. Tabor in it to Bolden, dishing it to Tyner. And Spears gathering the ball as she hit the court. And KMC will reset. Inside, Rudy back out to Hamilton. Good for 3.
And Avery Hamilton with the big 3-point bucket. Be her first points of the game.
Tabor looking for an open teammate. Into Converse, guarded by Rudy. Off the glass and in. This is just a 6-point game.
From Converse with the touch, floating it off the right hand onto the glass and in. A good shot.
Buckner sizing up her defender, weaving through the defense. Out to Hamilton. Can she hit again? Off the mark, rebounded by Buckner. And her thrown up shot will result in a chance at the free throw line.
Crusaders, not many opportunities so far tonight, but looking to improve. Buckner 76.5% from the free throw line so far this season.
And Buckner's first one is good from 15 feet away. Checking in for the Crusaders, Phoebe Loffer, as Emily Jacobs checks out.
And Emma Cooper in exchange for Kelsey Barskuski.
And Buckner nails her second. Tabor hustling down the court. Setting up a scoring opportunity for a team. Converse inside. Off the mark, corralled by Buckner, as she's at the helm for the next drive. Spears off the iron and reeled in by Central. They'll have another shot on their side, but
And the block will be called a foul on Rudy. Crusaders arguing that it was all ball, but no, not going their way, as Converse will shoot for the Jags.
Converse's first is good, as KMC's lead is cut down to 7. And that will be Jaguar ball. KMC unable to bag the board.
And off the leg of Loffer, not able to get her hands completely onto the ball, losing possession.
And the shot, good. Converse again, her number being called time and time again. She has 14.
And a deep floater there. It's called for the and one. Here is the and one opportunity. No good. It will be Andover Central ball as Jacob steps out of bounds with the ball for the Crusaders.
And the same sequence of events occurs once again.
The Crusaders just need to find a way to get the ball back on their end.
Converse again. good. And Converse has been responsible for the past 6 points for the Jaguars, as KMC did not see the ball at all in that time. Buckner, the shot, good on the jumper as she uncorks 2.
Buckner with 28 so far for the Crusaders, by far the leading scorer.
Nearly intercepted by Spears as Central to Wilburn. Tabor guarded by Buckner. The trifecta, good! Nothing but nylon on that one from Tabor as KMC only leads by 2 with 10.7 left in this third quarter of play. And Grayson, there's not much you can say, but wow.
And Buckner double teamed as she brings up the court. Pfister gets it back to Buckner.
Buckner, as time runs out, yanks one up. Good! From the parking lot. Buckner does it again. Repeating what she did to end the second quarter. Wow.
And it just seems that something else happens anytime the buzzer's about to go. It's just cash every time from Buckner, increasing that Cape lead 2-5 heading in to the break between the third and fourth quarter. This fourth quarter is presented by Ernat Arts and Bronze. So we move in. A close one here. Things can switch very quickly if the Crusaders are not careful, and with the lethal shooting from the Jaguars from beyond the arc, they can quickly retake this lead. Buckner with 31 so far in this one, averaging 25 a game. She has been electric so far this year for the Crusaders.
And heading into the fourth quarter, KMC leading by 5. And when we thought that Andover Central had all the momentum, Zoe Buckner comes out with that tray and gets her team going. Guarded closely by Cooper is Buckner, as she's at the helm for her team. Spears on the perimeter. The screen inside, Spears rejected. And Andover Central will get the ball. Directing traffic is Tabor, guarded by Pfister. The screen from Converse, the pick and roll rejected from Pfister, taking it down the court. And Andover Central took no time to hustle down and play some defense.
And that foul was on Wilborn. That is her first personal of the game.
Spears trying to make a move. Emily Jacobs off the mark and corralled by Tabor. Tabor to Cooper as she cuts inside. Rejected by the iron.
The foul call. So one team foul for both teams so far in this fourth quarter. Emma Cooper to shoot 2. She's no good on the first attempt. And in for the Crusaders are Rudy and Knipp in exchange for Spears and Jacobs.
Cooper minimizing the KMC lead. And Pfister getting that one to Knipp as whistle called as Knipp was pushed. Knipp to set things in motion.
The Andover Central coach getting mouthy with Zoe Buckner. Not sure what that's about, but seems to be frustration there.
Driving inside, Pfister hit hard as she falls to the court.
And as Pfister was going up for the layup, her hand was smacked. She will shoot 2 here for the Crusaders. And they need to take advantage of these free point opportunities. And a discussion, referees.
And Pfister's first ricochets off the rim. Much needed points for KMC as they only lead by 4. Pfister's second is complete. Tabor racing down the court. Handing it off. And inside Converse. And she'll get a shot at the line.
And Rudy picks up her 4th personal foul. So something to watch if you are Crusaders. And no good is Converse on her first attempt.
And Converse second cascades off the rim. And Knipp moving inside. And motioning is Buckner, using the screen to her advantage. And triple teamed, gets it out to Knipp in the corner, inside. Good.
And a good job by Knipp to take advantage of that triple team. Buckner getting the ball out. Knipp knowing that they outmatched the numbers as they were all trapped on Buckner. Buckner pokes it away.
Buckner all alone, good. Tallying up 2, number 51, Zoe Buckner.
And the and one call. That is a huge call for Buckner. Number 14, Emma Cooper, will check out. As Spears checked in for Pfister of the Crusaders. Buckner is good on the and one attempt. 34 points for her so far.
Tabor to Bolden. Wilburn in the corner. Good from distance.
And I don't know how she slipped into the corner without being noticed, just uncontested.
And Buckner at the helm for this offense, trying to direct them to the promised land, to a win. Knipp at the top of the key, driving in. And she was pushed. That one coming from Reese Wilburn, the sophomore. And KMC entering the bonus. Knipp will get a shot. Her first one off the mark. And her second skims the rim. Tabor once again hustling down the court. Wilburn guarded by Spears. And Tabor chucks up a 3, good.
A big 3-point shot from Tabor. Bring it back within 4. And that's 2 big threes in a row for the Jaguars as they gotten hot from behind the arc.
And KMC gets it around the horn, rejected by Converse. And Central quickly getting down the court Inside, Reese Wilburn, good. And Wilburn has 10 points.
This game is within 2 with 5 minutes left here to play. The Crusaders got to find something on offense and a solution on defense. Andover Central well with the momentum in right now.
Just a minute ago, Grayson, KMC led by 7. Where has that lead gone? The 3 off the mark. Knip, no good. And Wilburn hits the brakes. Gets it to Tabor. Tabor from the parking lot, good.
As the Andover Central crowd erupts after that big run from the Jaguars, a full timeout called by head coach Will Ingles of the Crusaders. Try to slow things down. Just a second ago, they had a comfortable lead, and now they trailed by 1. And as we mentioned in the break between quarters, this game can flip in an instant like we just saw. The Jaguars are just lethal from beyond the arc. Crusaders just not able to find an answer.
And Grayson, it's raining threes here from Park City Arena. Incredible showing from Andover Central. They were down just a couple of minutes ago, now up by 1 with 4:37 left in the game. KMC needs an answer quickly.
Yeah, they need to come out of this break just finding an answer to something. Hopefully just slowing down the momentum will help them out. But the Jaguars feeling it. Tabor hitting 2 threes back to back. Tabor has 26 points for the Jaguars.
And Pfister at the controls for KMC. Inside, Emily Jacobs making a move. And she will get an opportunity at the line.
2 shots for Jacobs with the contact. Looks like her wrist was hit when she's going up. That is the 5th team foul for Central, so Kapaun will enter the bonus with 4:25 left in the 4th. No good on the first attempt. Crusaders just continue their struggle from the line as they have all year.
Jacobs down the chute for her second. And Tabor in control for her team, sizing up the defense. Weaving through and off the glass, good. 61-59. KMC down by 2. Buckner inside, the jumper, good.
And Taylon Tabor has just become electric in this 4th quarter, putting this team on her back.
Wilburn, the dish to Tabor, guarded by Pfister. Tabor, inside. The pass out to Wilbur, good! Another 3, reigning trifectas here.
Andover Central just can't be stopped from beyond the arc. As Spears with the deep 2, Crusaders need to find a way to stop, get their perimeter defense to have a chance.
Tabor, guarded by Pfister. Tabor, physicality can be seen here as these two teams are getting fired up.
And Knip and Rudy checking for the Crusaders. The fans are also getting fired up in this one. This possession will be Andover Central. Pfister steals the inbound and the easy layup on the other end. And a timeout will be taken by the Andover Central Jaguars, and it is a full timeout.
And the hustle can be seen a mile away from McCoy Pfister, laying the breakaway bucket in to get her team up by 1. Grayson, what a performance from these two teams. A show being put on here in Park City.
Yeah, Andover Central just electric from beyond the arc. Also the breakaway too from Tabor, but just other than that, most of their points just coming from the three-point line, making it rain on the Crusaders defense. The perimeter defense has not been there. It just hasn't. They fake them out with the pick and roll, find an open person on the wing, and they rain it in. A quiet score for Jaguars, Reese Wilburn. She has done a lot. Another one is Peyton Converse. Have you've seen her go to work so far? She has 16. If the Crusaders come out of this timeout without an answer to this three-point ball, then I think we are in for a lot more of that from the Jaguars. The Crusaders continuing to play their style of offense, getting those twos, so far making it work.
Tyner to inbound. Tabor setting up the possession for her team. Weaving, well guarded by Pfister. Tyner resetting on the perimeter. Converse guarded by Rudy. Rudy has 4 fouls. And on the perimeter once again, KMC not letting an easy 3-ball happen. Bolden recovers the ball. Inside, Converse wide open. Good! And she's fouled. That's Rudy's 5th.
And the big and one from Converse. I mean, Tabor had the miscommunication. Looks like the pass was going to go out of bounds, but it was saved by Bolden. And now it turns into that and one opportunity. No good. Rebounded by Pfister.
Buckner. She knows what she needs to do for this team. Buckner double teamed. Getting it out to Pfister. And 2 open teammates on the right side. Unable to connect was Pfister. That was Spears and Knipp both wide open from perimeter.
And Wilburn will check in for Bolden.
And Tabor once again will take the ball down the court. Pounding the leather. Gets it to Converse, inside, and back out for 3. Leather for Lace. 69-65, KMC.
The Jaguars are unbelievable from three-point range. Crusaders need to find something. Knipp will be fouled hard.
And after that last three-pointer, Andover Central 4 for 4 from three-point land in the 4th quarter alone. And some excellent play from the Jaguars.
The Crusaders need these free throws as she drops the first.
Knipp, 15 feet away. Good. Some help from the rim. 69-67, KMC trails by 2. On the perimeter, inside, hit away, but Wilburn recovers. And Tabor inside to Converse, wide open! Off the fiberglass and in.
And the pass was over the head of Spears. Knipp drives towards the lane. No call, but now the late foul call. Be 2 shots. Knipp will head to the line again. Lots of contact on her drive into the lane. Not the initial call, but finally being called. I think it was a foul.
And Grayson, as I mentioned earlier, Andover Central 4 from 4 from 3, but also 4 from 4 from 2. They're perfect in this 4th quarter play. Incredible shooting performance from them. Good from Knipp, shortening the lead to just 2.
Knipp has been clutch with those 4 free throw makes in a row. The Crusaders needed those in the worst way. And she came in clutch as she's on the defense.
Wilburn A big task for a sophomore. Getting it to Tabor, guarded by Pfister. Quickly moving inside, switching, double teamed. Pfister. And Wilburn for three, good again!
And the Crusaders unhappy there was no 5 seconds call. Tabor was smothered in defense, but not getting the 5 seconds. And instead they get a three-pointer rained on them.
Spears, no good from three. That was exactly what KMC needed. But Buckner trying to come down with the rebound. Whistle called. That'll be sent the other way.
And that is the first personal for Buckner. We have a full timeout. Excuse me, a half timeout from the Crusaders, trying to figure things out. They trail by 5. And I think lots of frustration from the Crusader faithful not getting that 5 seconds call, and instead and boost that Andover Central lead. This is a close one. The Crusaders can't get discouraged. They got to come out with energy. They still have time. But the Crusaders just not a three-point shooting team. And obviously the Central team, that is their entire offense.
KMC with the press, doing all they can to limit this scoring. All alone, Tabor and Pfister. Pfister poking that one out. And 47-9 left on the clock. And Central will check in. Tabor surveys the floor. Gets it to Converse, double teamed. Buckner. And whistle and foul called. And that's KMC's 5th team foul. Converse. Off the mark from the free throw line.
Converse has been an incredible scorer for this Jaguar team so far. And that was off the hands of Emma Cooper, heading Crusader way with 43.5 left to play. Pass it into Buckner. Buckner getting it down the court. Quick drive. Jumper from the free throw line is no good, recovered by Wilburn.
And Andover Central will reset. Wilburn. 30 seconds left in the game. Guarded by Knipp. Converse. KMC trying to slow this down and get the ball in their hands. And whistle called.
Be on number 22, Ellie Knipp.
KMC
third.
Down by 5 as Andover Central has a chance at the free throw line.
Central just trying to seal the game here.
Good.
The first of the pair will drop. Wilburn so far with 17 on the day. Tabor with 28. And Converse with 15.
Good for her second. And Pfister surveying the defense. Her pass is no good to Spears as this team looks dejected. 12.6 left as KMC is down by 7. Wilburn, no good, and Buckner inside, lays it in. As time hits double zeros, Buckner with the final shot of the game, but it is not enough. 76-71, Andover Central defeats the red-hot KMC Crusaders as KMC falls to 5-2 and Central goes to 4-2. As for the game, I'm Andrew Guyer.
And I'm Grayson Greer.
And thank you for watching.